Welcome to Enneagram and Essential Oils Part 4. Today we are going to learn about Type 1, the perfectionist. I feel like I can nail down this type pretty easily, mostly because I feel like I'm the complete opposite. Side note, sorry to all my one friends that I've annoyed. I had no idea. It was not intentional. I appreciate our differences so much because I'm certain the world would kind of just fall apart without the gifts of the ones. Ones are self-disciplined, careful, and detail-oriented. They enjoy a good and predictable routine and always put their best foot forward. They are committed to live a life of service and integrity and have deep convictions of right and wrong. Ones get the job done with a running list of things to do and always follow instructions exactly. I asked a friend if she could describe what it was like being a one, and her response was, "Do you have an example of what you're looking for?" And I feel like her initial response perfectly describes this step. They want to perfect whatever it is they're working on and have a good understanding of the expectations, so they have zero room for error. They're basically everything a boss would want in their workers. After reiterating to this dear friend what I was asking, she described being a one as attentive to detail, valuing accuracy, and loving quality time with friends and loved ones. So they are just really wonderful people to have around. Because ones have such high standards for themselves and others, they can become critical. Because of their judging and comparing minds combined with their deep convictions, they can readily spot imperfection. Ones have a hard time accepting that imperfection that is inevitable in this life, but they have a hard time of silencing that just critical voice in their heads. Ones, because your tendency to pursue perfection and become discouraged when your ideals aren't met, I recommend Cyprus, the oil of motion and flow. Cyprus assists in feelings of adaptability and flexibility. And when you use this oil, think on the verse from Romans 8:28, which says, "We know that all things work together for the good of those who love God, who are called according to his purpose." So remember this. You can trust that even when your plans are thwarted, that God's sovereign hand is at work. And he promises that he will work them out for your good and his glory. And he does not lie. What a comforting truth to lean into when your plan A isn't God's plan B. Because you feel self-judgment and comparison with others, I recommend pink pepper, the oil of intrinsic equality. You can often use a measuring stick against others to generate your personal perfection code and see where you line up. It's crucial to remember God's grace, which was lavished upon you, is the same grace that others so desperately need too. When you use this oil, think on verse from Romans 3:22 through 24, which says, "The righteousness of God is through faith in Jesus Christ to all who believe, since there is no distinction. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. They are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. We are made perfect through Jesus' death and resurrection. Jesus is the standard, and he died so that you can live in freedom from trying to earn perfection. You can create and organize and pay attention to every single stinking detail in your life while pressing into this reality, which will change your heart to celebrate differences in God's people instead of comparing." So ones, we thank you for being our glue. If you know one, gift them a planner and thank them for their ability to fine-tune any project. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you next time.